All right, what's up, everybody? Terminator Juice, and Hangouts is live is done on August 1st. Last time it said it was ending. Now it's give us the actual date. So before August 1st, come up with a solution. I already have an idea of what to do. It sucks that you won't the icons. I don't know if Hangouts in general is going to disappear eventually. We'll have to figure that out. But anyway, welcome to the Juice is Loose. Like I said, we're going to be discussing for those of us minus one person that have Mario Maker 2. We're going to be going over the game, our impressions, discussing how the controls feel to make a level versus from Andre from Game Explain made it sound. Because I was my excitement level was diminished by how much they were shitting on it, and then so I'll give my impressions of how I actually feel about it now that I've played it, and then so it's been 2 weeks since we did a podcast, so I don't know because I've been so busy playing Mario Maker 2, I didn't really look up anything. I don't know. I saw some people talking about Alan Wake. I don't know. I didn't really read the story.
Oh, the developer got the rights back to it.
And who is the developer?
Really mean much.
You bitch! How dare you? Let me real quick. Go ahead and I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, because that popped up today. Other than that, I mean, I've been I've drained the battery on my Switch.
Remedy.
All right.
Yeah,
that may be a game.
You slap their name onto that Blair Witch game that's gonna bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm gonna pick it up. I like those types.
You pick up all games, though, right?
You're gonna pick it up and put it right back down.
Oh shit!
So what else? What other games did they make?
Remedy, didn't they make the Quantum Break?
Make Quantum Break.
I'll pull it up real quick because
so what was the big deal
game that I put down?
they finally got the rights back to that game because they had lost it.
Okay. Who is Remedy, an independent studio or what?
Let me double check before.
I don't think they're under Microsoft anymore.
Yeah,
they were under Microsoft.
They used to be.
That.
Oh, okay. Max Payne was the other.
Max Payne, duh.
That's the other thing they're known for. Let's see, Max Payne 2.
They started the whole bullet time thing.
Crossfire.
Did they do Max Payne 2? I thought that was Rockstar.
No, Rockstar published it.
Rockstar published it.
Oh, they were a publisher. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then you got Alan Wake Death Rally, which I guess is a mobile title. Hey. Yeah, actually, it doesn't look like In Control is the other game.
Control.
Which apparently is out this year.
So is Alan Wake only been on Xbox at this? I don't know.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet. It hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, Alan Wake.
I mean, the series.
Alan Wake has only been on
Xbox, yeah.
Xbox and I guess PC technically.
I was gonna say, I think I had it on Steam.
Yeah, it's on PC.
I said PC.
Console-wise, it's just Xbox.
Yeah, but console-wise, it's only been on Xbox platforms.
I guess it means it's an exclusive.
Well, let me see. Oh, okay, so let me read what it is. Oh, publishing rights for Alan Wake's. The Alan Wake series of games have reverted back to the original developer. So I guess they never published the games before. I guess that was Microsoft publishing. It wasn't a lot.
Nobody
it was cared. Yeah, it's nothing really major.
Some Xbox fans should care, I guess, but they don't care.
They got other things to worry about by not playing games.
The latest game, Control, is actually meant to be pretty good. Control. It reminded me of did you ever play Psyops? That came on like the PS2 and I think it was on GameCube, that era, where you just use your mind to levitate. Psyops.
Oh, Psyops. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's that's a similar type of game where you just lift up stuff around the environment, and
it is a good game.
And yeah.
I guess a few other smaller things. NBA 2K20 is coming out for Switch. That was confirmed today when they announced.
Of course,
well, I mean, people say that, but come on, yo.
Who cares?
We're dealing with that Legacy Edition for FIFA. Like I want to hear.
I don't want no drug commercials in my game.
And then the last thing, which I think translates into what you guys are going to talk about tonight, Mario Maker 2 killing it over there in UK.
Man, fuck that game.
Yeah, man.
Mario Maker 2. Yeah, it was number
fuck
one.
Mario Maker now.
Wow.
Mario Maker 2.
Yep, number one, and that was only for the couple of days. Though.
Yeah, it was only a couple of days, and then
Well, a certain host of the Juice Loose podcast predicted after the direct that it would. I've said it would be one of the top, if not the best-selling Switch game released this year.
why did you say that? Why you say why? I will say there's only one host. What kind of statement was that?
I'm not saying this proves it, but
Just like it was such a loaded.
when I saw that direct, I was like, I think this could be the top-selling game for Switch this year.
The other one would be Pokemon then.
Nah,
right?
Pokemon's gonna destroy.
No,
this.
the other title in UK that's actually kind of interesting is a title that I've been playing. I don't think anyone else has. Is Bloodstain for Switch came out like a few days later than the PS4, Xbox, and PC versions, and that shit apparently in UK sold. I think what was it more than the Xbox One and PS4 version of the game sales combined.
Wow.
In the UK, which I thought was kind of cool because the game is
I
fucking
guess they
good.
didn't care about it being a shoddy port.
I wish they would have made it.
It's
the
not.
focal
It's not.
point.
It's say what?
So I wish the Switch version should have been the focal point. Then they should have known this shit would.
You would think. That,
Now to be
Oh,
fair,
let's not start that again, man. Make us all angry now.
to
We've gotta
be
be
fair,
happy.
I've been playing since I was a backer for the game. I've been playing it on Switch.
How you like it?
It definitely has its issues. I still think it's playable and it's not like
it's playable.
terrible, but it's well because okay, all right. Let me get into the main. I think it's a few issues, and I know Digital Foundry did a video yesterday. I think on Bloodstained for
Well, at
Switch.
least it holds a locked 30. I will say.
Yeah.
Where-
It
Woo!
PS4, Xbox One are 45 to 60, but
yeah, I was gonna say so.
A
I've been
2D
playing
game in 2019 is locked
The-
30. Woo!
the two. Shut up. the
and
two.
it looks. I mean,
The two
pretty
big.
scaled back.
The two biggest issues for me personally
in
is
loading
the inconsistent load times, because it's like sometimes you can how if you jump from one screen to the next, especially if I'm going from like down to up or up to down, for some reason if I go either way of those, sometimes the screen will take up to like 20 seconds to like
yeah, they showed a 38-second load time. If you jump up and then stop pressing over, it takes like 12 seconds to load the new area. And
Yeah.
because you weren't holding over, you fall back down.
Yeah.
12 more seconds to get back to the previous area. Jump again, another 12 seconds and then that's your lesson learned. You should always hold to one side or the other to make sure you land.
yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a 2D game where you jump from one area to the next, have a loading fucking screen.
Not even on NES.
I mean,
Not even NES.
to be fair, that is kind of the style of those games in general. My issue is that it's inconsistent because it doesn't happen every time you do that. It's only like some areas will do that. If I drop down and come back up, it's
They
kind of
haven't been a style. They haven't been a style for since the SNES and NES we're talking about. I mean, there's no. I can't think of any other recent game, not even like Ori or Hollow Knight or anything like that. That the whole world is in there.
Say what,
Atari
Juice?
2600.
Didn't Shantae have some level progression like that where when you got to the next screen? Yeah, there's vertical areas where you jump when you get to the top of the screen, it would switch to a new.
Yeah.
And it was instant. Like instant.
Switch.
So that there shouldn't even be a loading screen when you're making that jump. They need to fix. I don't know what they got to do. They got to make because there's no loading on any of the other platforms.
And I was gonna say the other issue, which is probably to me the most offensive one, is the input lag that happens when you're playing on the Switch version.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking delay. Now I've adjusted to it because I didn't know about all these bugs when I first started playing it. I've adjusted to it, but like I went and like I didn't buy the PC version because you're not gonna get me twice, but I did like play a little bit of the demo of the PC version, and it was like it's almost like night and day. Like I hit the button, I feel like I'm waiting like 2 or 3 seconds after the fact. I said, I'm adjusting to it, and it's fine. And you know what hurts me the most? The game is fun as fuck. It's just the poor optimization is what kills it for me personally.
I don't believe you.
No, the game, like realistically, even if you look at like the reviews and fellow fans of that style of game, the game itself is fun as hell. It just has a lot of poor optimization issues. And to be fair, the developers did mention how I think that was the one that was ported. Like they didn't work on that. It was another
course.
one of those situations where the Switch version was ported. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
by-
this game was started on during the Wii U. So
yeah, they had
I
to
will
cancel
say,
the Wii U version.
they had some really bad development cycle going on there.
Yeah,
So
People
I
assume that
get
like
it, but still,
like
it's a
digital
bitch. I
like
get it.
Digital Foundry pointed out, like people, I guess, maybe that's starting to go away. Like they're always shitting on bad, Nintendo ports and stuff. But they were even like, this game was designed with the Switch wasn't even known. Like they never thought like early on that the Switch was going to be a system to release on. Maybe they had it. I don't know how the Wii U version would have been, but the fact that they gave it to a different studio, and maybe like someone said, Lenny Wright says maybe they should have delayed the Switch version if they intend to fix it, and they actually fix it kind of like Rhyme. They kind of I don't know how much better it is after the
it's
patch.
a lot better. But Rhyme didn't get as many excuses. People still hating on Rhyme. But,
Yeah, but T was co-signing on Ryan the whole fucking time.
Right, and nobody gave a shit. But now Itagaki make a game, and then oh no, give him a chance.
That's
He's
also
like the same as like Yuji Naka, fucking Kenji Unafing or whatever.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's weird.
That's not the same tier. That is not the same tier.
Just give him a chance, but guys, give him a
On
chance.
the flip side, Crash Team Racing comes out, and they actually, they didn't say this publicly, but if you watch the analysis, every single version runs at 30 frames per second, and they're all locked. Even 4-player split screen, they're all locked at 30. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind the Xbox One X, PS4 Pro versions, at the very least, could run that easily at 60 frames per second. But they kept it parity, and I, in my mind, and there's no cross-platform play, so I don't know why it would matter. But I just feel like they made the choice to just not have different frame rates on different versions of the game, and it really makes the Switch version seem that much better because hey, it runs at the same frame rate, and it's not that much farther below the base Xbox. It's just 900p. It's down to 720p. Everything else is the same. And as a Switch owner, I'm like, yeah, that's a great port. But I know very damn well like they could get that with that art style, unless it was just never thought they're never going to do 60, and so I guess some games, if you make them at 30, I mean, there's a lot of work to get it at 60, but it just feels like they felt like it wasn't worth doing the work for the Xbox One X version because I'm sure that's going to sell like absolute trash. So I mean, and it's a really great port because and it actually it's got me the reviews I watched and gameplay. It's like, man, I never played the original and never actually even heard anyone who played it talk about it. That drift mechanic and stuff, there's actually a lot of skill involved, and I'm like, man, my kart racing itch is needing to be scratched, and I'm actually considering picking it up, even though the online I guess isn't that great. So mainly because there's no one on, there's not enough players, and there's not 15, 20 million people who have the game on like Mario Kart. But it looks like a fun game, and I'd never bought a Crash game in my life, but it looks better than Team Sonic Racing to me. But it's an example of a really good port, and one that's not that far off from the base Xbox One version. Other than I think from 900 down to 720, so it can be done. And there's really, other than the team size and the fact they had to go to a porting studio for Bloodstain, there's really no excuse for that game to run as poorly as it does, and hopefully they patch it. But anyway, go ahead.
I was gonna say they said I've already, because I'm a part of their backer Discord. They were mentioning in the Discord that's their first order of business is to go ahead and work on patches for the Switch version. So supposedly those will be coming out in small incremental updates over like the next year or so. or just over. I don't think they even give a time period. Just over the coming weeks, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll let y'all get into Mario Maker 2 talking. I'm gonna go
Now
take
we're
a
not
nap.
there quite yet.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys click on the link for the poster for the Witcher Netflix
Oh, I saw
series?
those earlier.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh my god, Henry Cavill for whatever the main character's name is. What is his name?
Geralt.
Geralt. What a bad idea. He looks fucking amazing
He looks
as
badass.
Geralt. I mean, it's like I can't. It looks perfect to me.
I think it was based off the first time we saw them, you know, the image and stuff, you know, he was walking on drinking a vial, you know, he was a much more like Witcher 1 when he was clean shaven. And I think a lot of people will, their first entry into the Witcher series was The Witcher 3. You know, I've played every single game. I've only completed the second and the third game. I didn't complete the first one, but yeah, people are used to him, you know, with the scruffy beard from the commercial stuff. So when you saw him clean shaven, and you know, looking a bit weird, you know, is people were put off by it.
Yeah,
but
it looked like a test footage for like the wig and outfit, and this he looks weathered. His you know, his clothing looks beat up and weathered.
Much better. Yeah.
His hair looks real, like it looks like he just grew his hair out and dyed it gray. You know, like it doesn't look like a wig. I'm actually pretty excited.
There's one character in there because when I was looking at the characters, I think you could see Yennefer and Ciri, and you know, I thought Ciri looked a bit too young, but then I haven't actually read the books, and my friend said in the book she is actually quite young. So I think they're probably sticking a lot more along the lines of the novels, which obviously probably go in a lot more detail than the actual adaptations of the games that we've seen. Although I'm sure they'll sprinkle some stuff in, but. Yeah, you know, I think you know, I'm ready to see more. You know, I think you know, a good trailer and could be a damn good series to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's not. I wouldn't talk about it if it wasn't a video game. Also, you know, if it was just a book, then they're making a Netflix series about. Obviously, that's more known as a video game series by people listening to this podcast. So that's why I thought it'd be cool to bring it up. And I'm actually, I'm excited now where I wasn't before. So, I mean, that's what you want when you first show the characters and stuff. Unlike Sonic, where it's like turned everybody off.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it.
You show this, and it's like maybe the trailer won't look great, but at least the still shots look.
I think Henry Cavill. I mean, the Witcher Geralt is, you know, is in the games and stuff. He's a fist fighter as well. You know, he'll go into pubs and fight with, you know, his fists and stuff for money and everything like that. And as we saw from like Henry Cavill, I don't know if you've seen you know, Mission Impossible.
She was great.
Mission
Impossible.
Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah, and you know, him in there, you know, fighting and stuff. You know, he looked pretty badass. So that comes along as well, because you know, Cavill's he is a good actor. You know, I don't hate him as Superman. He certainly gets his presence on the screen. So I think he'll play. I think he will play a good Geralt, and we all know that he is actually a crazy Witcher fan as well. So you know, he's going to know some of his stuff, which will obviously help. And I'm sure he'll throw you know, some of his own little things in there for the fans and stuff. So.
And yeah, Netflix has a pretty good track record. I'd say Lost in Space, the only Netflix series I've watched that I would say was terrible.
We're talking about Warner Brothers doing Henry Cavill wrong. Is that what?
I think I think he was a good choice for Superman. I just don't, you know, things didn't work out, unfortunately, and we didn't get to see the full vision for Superman, you know, because of the fucking stupid shit they pulled where they had to force Batman into the second movie and then rush Justice League. Is just like, I would have loved to see this, like a true pure Superman movie after like Man of Steel and seeing what they could have done.
Zack Snyder should have said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm putting my foot down or I leave.
I hope I would like to see him continue in this and just I don't know, just have a good script and a good director, and I think he could be. I think he's still could be a great Superman. But anyway, back to gaming. And Terrell shared something. Somebody created a Guardian Shield and Sword that fully
Oh,
lights
yes.
up. It's fucking
I figured you would
amazing.
approve, Juice. I don't know. Maybe.
Fucking amazing.
Okay,
What
yeah, he
people can
approves.
come up with.
That is pretty
Yes,
dope.
the Juice approves. Get it.
Also, for the chat, for some reason, I have to approve any chat message that has ass or bitch or any swear
Oh, yeah,
word
we
whatsoever.
approved that yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
started last podcast, and then it was plaguing Terrell's live stream last night.
Fucking
Damn.
garbage,
It's
yo.
stupid. I don't.
That's
There's no
dumb.
setting to just say, "Hey, allow swearing." No, it's
Because
just
they have it where you can filter out curse words, but if you don't have any words in there, it still filters out curse words. So
That's
how do
dumb.
you? So I don't know how you stop it.
Because I remember
freedom of
seeing
speech is
there being
gone.
an option. There was an option, but I guess
don't
it doesn't
know where
matter.
that would be, but
I remember seeing it. I remember seeing filter.
There used to be. You're
No,
right.
I remember seeing like 2 days ago when I did.
Hmm.
But maybe they changed it 2 days
I
ago.
think they
Man.
changed it because
no, it was last podcast. It was I had to keep on.
Really? Because I
Doing
saw it
it.
said filter, explicit words or whatever, and I had that shit off because that's why I say shit.
I don't know where I don't know where it would be. Is it on the YouTube page?
settings.
No, it's in your settings. It's in your settings.
Yeah, it's under.
Yeah, but all I
settings.
have open right now is the live chat and Hangouts. I don't have my YouTube page
You gotta
open.
go to your
Okay,
channel
go ahead. Just keep talking, and I'll look up.
All right.
Yeah, you gotta like
Just
put
talking.
asterisks now.
It's just annoying if I miss. Sorry to somebody if I get distracted. Sometimes I don't check the chat for.
We're
5,
now
10
PG,
minutes.
yo.
Oh fuck that! We ain't gonna be PG nothing. Not
We
with
have to
dick.
bleep ourselves.
Not with dick bitch in here. All right?
No, we have to
can't
be
that.
what the fuck all the time.
What's
now.
retro gonna do, man? It's like 99% of the vocabulary.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
somebody commented once about who's that guy that swears all the time?
I'm pretty sure. I thought that was me. Honestly, I thought they was arguing
No.
about me.
I sometimes think that when I think back of watching you guys before I joined,
Yeah, even
I
FUX.
feel
I
it was a
have
lot more
to.
wholesome and shit. And then I joined the shit.
No,
just
well,
like-
you know why? Is once I turned 18, I was like allowed to curse, so I started cursing.
allowed to
Wanker.
What?
Everybody's testing now to see what words. LUL. I had to.
bullocks.
FUX. I had to.
I can't even do it.
It was stupid.
I'm a moderator and I can't see it.
What about just penis? Oh no, penis goes.
It's actually funny
Let's see what
because
happens if I type a swear word.
the LUL, lil, that means
No,
dick.
Robert hit it.
That's crazy.
I don't
Penis
even.
is fine.
Okay,
No, I had to
But
hide yours.
technically, that's
Oh, wait,
not, that's
really?
not profanity. Penis is not profanity.
No,
that's a
it's
scientific.
not.
Penis,
Yeah.
really?
Term.
Dude,
Oh,
penis
somebody.
is the body part.
Dragon Slayer, is that a Mario Maker level code? I don't know. You just
Do it like,
randomly
uh,
drop
he's like, let me drop
drop
a
a
code in this bitch.
9-digit code in there just randomly.
Do you want to check it out, guys?
In old school, what's the comedian in old school? It was like cock balls.
Oh my goodness! What the hell?
What if you did like this? What if you did like
Will Ferrell.
Oh, I should have
Yeah.
known that. Fuck
You
me.
can find a way to turn that off, Terrell? Are you looking?
I'm looking right now. I see
What if you do that? Did
moderators,
is it
group
fine?
users, hidden
No.
users, blacked out words, block links. Yeah, mine's just set to like there's a default
Oh,
setting.
did you Google search YouTube live chat censor or?
Oh, there is a chat box. It's in your it's in community settings.
Ah,
So when you go to your creator studio, go to community, then go to community settings, and at the bottom of the page it says messages in your live chat. Potentially hold inappropriate chat messages for review.
Where do you see community?
Go to your
Community?
creator settings.
I'm in community
I'm a
subscribers, community
you know how to go to
settings.
community?
And then go at the very
you're talking-
bottom of the
wait,
page.
wait, You're talking about the settings.
Oh, Robert Rule 2 is the moderator. I might as well uncheck that.
Oh no, I see community.
Oh,
I
there we
thought-
go. Okay, good find.
So that-
Look at all my hidden users listed here.
why do I have so many people here for?
All
No,
the
see,
people
for
I've
me,
blocked.
I don't have. See, like for me, it says allow all comments. I'm good. It never changed mine.
No,
No,
no.
it's
Go
below
all
that.
the lower.
Right, the one below that.
Messages in your live chat. That's what it should be called.
I'm gonna look at it. No, wait. Oh, I see. Oh, no, even that it doesn't do it. It's not on. It's not on. It says.
Huh. Well, then you should be fine, dick
They're
bitch.
probably like, this motherfucker was always saying dick
Yeah, I
bitch. He
think-
probably is fine.
Yeah,
Dick bitch. He probably is fine.
I think YouTube went through certain because mine did that, and it was like, why did he change that shit?
They're
They-
probably
they
like, this
changed
bitch,
bullshit.
bitch. He always saying dick bitch. So fuck it.
You fucking
All right.
garbage, yo.
What other gaming thing before we get into Mario Maker?
Well, those is game that came out called Mario Maker. I don't know. What about Nah, I got nothing.
Let's talk about Nintendo Online.
Again? For what? What happened now?
Nothing. That's the fucking
Because-
problem.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, when Mario Maker comes out, they're gonna make all these changes. Shut
We
the-
should talk about the greatest lineup in Xbox history.
Oh, you
Oh.
bitch.
Oh,
How dare you?
I can't wait for T's new video that he's holding. I think you
I
can.
was hoping it'd be up by now.
Yeah, I think you can upload it and make it live tonight. It'd be sweet.
thanks
It's
for
probably uploading right now, to be fair.
Spoilers, yo.
your allowance there. Man.
Oh,
I'm just throwing out the suggestion. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's just the
I wish he was looking forward to my videos.
just the thumbnail that you shared with us is good.
Yeah, incredible.
I didn't know T was a cosplayer. Wait, how much I gotta pay? Listen, T, how much I gotta pay to get into the Snapchat, yo?
$49 a month.
Oh
You gotta pay
shit!
to now Snapchat has
No,
subscription.
there's those things where like this, you know, a nice
Like exclusive
looking female
Snapchats.
will be like, "Hey, I'll get you if you pay me. I'll get you into this premium Snapchat." You
Yeah,
can
it's like
see my
exclusive
tits."
Snapchats.
Stupid, man.
That's like a legit thing.
Dude, I
Oh,
was
yeah,
watching Dashi live stream of Mario Maker 2, and dude's got 1 million subs. I don't know what he makes off his views, but he does daily videos, and they're
Definitely a good amount.
thousands. Bought a big old house in California.
Probably $1 million.
I watch his live stream, and it's got his top donations. I don't know if that's just that live stream or
Yeah, it's just that live stream.
top $100, then like $90,
That's
and
nothing.
there's 79. Like
Let's say I got that last
50,
week and I was
50,
blown away.
50. I'm like,
Way more than that.
this is just this live stream. I'm like an hour into it, and dude's
Yeah.
got $400 or $500 just boom. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Who are these people that have this money to throw at?
I've seen somebody at one point because I watch Ryuka and shit, and he doesn't have.
Of
that
course
shit,
you do.
but he's getting to that same extent with the donations. And at one point, somebody donated. You can always leave a message. Somebody donated like $100, I think, and they actually said like, "I used to pay this for cable, but I don't watch TV anymore, and I actually like watch you, standard always instead of my TV. So
You
I
can
might
watch this shit for free.
to keep you up, so that you could keep having that content."
Well, if I thought if someone was struggling and they weren't
Right.
already making $1 million off of fucking YouTube views, that's one thing. But I don't know I don't know the type of person that has $100 to throw. Are they somebody that just has so much money they don't know what to do with? Or they're the type that can't barely pay their bills, but yet I feel like it's somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, but still will pay that just to get their name said, and somebody.
Well, I mean, that's half of the appeal, to be fair.
And then maybe he'll. I don't know what the benefits are.
It depends on the channel. The channel gets to dictate the benefits.
Yeah, because I know like OJ has, where like a Prime member or premium member gets to like have do hangouts, chats where they just kind of do a off air like chat like a podcast but off air and stuff. It's like, I mean, to me that's weird, but to each their own. It's like,
Just don't bust these kids out for
was
supporting
like-
the people they give a fuck about.
that's the only situation where I might feel that way. Maybe they feel that way about these people. Like maybe if I had like an idol, like somebody I just absolutely adored, and if they were doing that, and I could pay like a donation, I could chat with somebody. I don't know, like trying to just think of somebody like fucking. Back in the day, I was a huge fan of Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters. Like I always thought it'd be cool to hang out with those dudes because they're just seem like they're just so down to earth and stuff. Something like that, but I don't know. It's to me, that's just
While Juice is sitting here ragging on that, I just enabled the membership thing for my channel. So guys, come on over and join Visit Team Nintendo, where you can get custom emojis to put in the chat and on your channel on the comment section. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Side note, wait. Side note, did you do the custom emojis? Dead ass.
Custom emojis to put in the live streams and on your YouTube comments.
I actually have that on my Twitch, by the way.
Yeah.
On Twitch.com, Twitch.tv. Thank you.
Oh my God.
We're going right now.
I don't give a damn, yo.
Twitch is definitely the place a lot of people do that, go to. And it's like I'm still not in that Twitch. Like I still don't think to go to Twitch. I have to like see somebody link on Twitter. Hey, I'm on Twitch live, or make a quick YouTube video. Hey, I'm on Twitch. I'd never think just turn on Twitch and see if somebody's live. Like that hasn't become a part of my routine yet.
Yeah, I know. It's like and if you join now, you can get pitch ideas about videos in my channel, guys. We can sit in the chat and we'll talk about the YouTube and Nintendo and all kinds of good things. And you'll be able to pitch ideas to videos that you might want to see on my channel. Thank you very much.
The one thing I will I don't know if you have your own Discord yet.
I do.
But I went to, it was Sunless Khan. He's a Rocket
Link's
League
in my
guy.
description. Go check out my Discord.
And I was like, he's like, click on the Discord. It's a cool way to meet people and find other. I click on it, and there's like, I want to say 15 to 20 subcategories, and then all these freaking rules about, hey, if you post this in the wrong category, you will be blocked. You'll get a warning, then you'll be blocked. I'm like. It was just
moderators, yo.
It was like somebody posted a question, but it wasn't in the question, whatever you want to call it, part of the server, like the separate categories. And I was just like, oh my God, like this is just like, it's too many rules in that one for me. And then there was just so many people just saying so many random things. There's no way to connect with somebody, find a person that maybe at your same skill level to play with. Like it was just like, it was a clusterfuck. There was just too many people, and I was like, man, this like maybe it's because I didn't start with Discord, and I'm still kind of getting my feet wet with it. But it just felt like
I mean, you gotta have some level of.
It felt like chaos, and there was a bunch of Autobot stuff. Like it was like, oh, how dare you? It was like one of the number one things was don't tag Sunless Khan, the person you're there to like interact with. Don't tag Sunless Khan or you will be blocked. I'm like, oh my God.
That's because everyone tags that person probably.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, it's moderation. Like the moment you get
big, that probably a legitimate concern, but
yeah, but then you just turn your notifications off.
Well, then what's the? I mean, you don't want your notifications off, but it just felt like,
you do.
It felt like they really didn't want you there, and they didn't want me there apparently because all the rules were like, just like turn-offs to me. I'm just like, yeah, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, I get that.
It doesn't feel like I don't know. It doesn't
feel like a community. It feels like
yeah, it doesn't feel. I don't get that community vibe from Discord, but anyway.
I mean, you already have a squad. That's why.
Yeah, we're gonna have to probably use Discord for the podcast moving forward. So I'm gonna create a different server for just us, the six of us.
See, you should make a Juice Lose Discord.
The six of us
have questions, so we can.
He does have a Juice Lose Discord.
No, I mean, yeah, but I'm talking about for questions. You know what I mean? So we could get questions. Remember that? That was awesome, yo.
Yeah.
Can we do questions?
Live chat. Maybe we should open that up to a more of a question format too.
Well, yeah, but you're the one who's like,
well,
we kind of ignore it. That's the problem.
No, yeah, well, that's why I feel like with the questions, you'd be like, all right, we're gonna take a break now. We're gonna make some.
What is this like weird? Juices Loose, like.
Yeah, we're just kind of brainstorming ideas.
Yeah, it's like
in the middle of a podcast.
It's like a team meeting. Like, guys, we gotta get the numbers up. We gotta get the views up.
Because that was fun. We used to do that, yo. I like doing
it right now and tell us if it's a good idea. Whether it's
leave comments in the comments.
Come on, guys. You know you like to ask questions. Who doesn't like to say shit? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you like to say shit.
Yeah, but that's why, like, remember we used to do that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we
you get
definitely-
banned. That was
I
funny.
remember
As
in the
hell.
early days we tried to all right questions, and then we'd always run out of time. We'll do questions next week.
Oh yeah,
That's because
Well,
we
that's
get
like-
into like a topic
we
or
could like
something.
start or do like in the middle. I don't know, like a 30 minutes
We
of
gotta get
questions.
back to interacting with our audience here.
Or,
Well, I mean,
or
they're not right now. They're just there.
see, look, he liked to question.
I'm gonna do it right
I
now.
like
Donate
fuck
to my
question.
Patreon
You know
and get
what
my
he's
friends list.
saying?
Become a Patreon of Mr. T Gates.
Come on, Juices Lose Patreon, and you get to ask questions.
I think my
And then
keyboard
maybe
is dying.
just
For
as
a-
Patreon, and then
For
maybe we get paid.
$1,000, you could be on the podcast, yo.
I need
Oh,
a
no.
new keyboard, guys.
I need a new Logitech
I've got a
keyboard.
Corsair keyboard, and I absolutely love it.
Really?
Yeah,
How much was it?
it was $50.
We should do some more games
Is it
again,
like-
yo. Remember the games we used to do? That was fun.
The problem is that Juice's streaming sucks because I guess of the internet or
Oh, he's
what.
talking about the games we like. Robert as
Remember-
Robert played it.
Yeah,
Oh,
remember
those-
that? That was fun,
Oh.
yo.
It's too much thought to go and work needs to go into that.
Lazy ass.
All right, let's get to it, guys.
All right, so let's talk about Mario Maker 2. Terrell, why don't you give us your impressions? Let's have you start.
I like Mario next.
So yeah, let's start with just first impressions, quick overview, what you like, what you don't like type of stuff. So Robert, why don't you start?
Oh man, I love it. You know,
You sound like you was bummed out about it.
Oh man, I hate
it makes me, it makes me so
Shit.
so reminiscent of a 2015 when it
Mhm.
first came out. That shit was crazy when it first
day.
came out, and so it's like, and now it's like, whoa, it's here again, and except it's expanded on, and it's fucking great, yo. I have been playing it nonstop, all types, making levels, playing story mode, playing other people's levels, the endless challenge, the everything. It just feels so nice to hold and play, and man, I love it. It's so good, and
You
it
need
makes
a moment, sir?
it makes it makes honestly. I was thinking like it makes it makes it feel like the Switch is finally home. I know this. I don't know if this sounds weird, but it's like feels like obviously you
Well,
have the wild and
It makes it feel like the touchscreen is actually worth having on the system now.
to be honest, yeah, I've never taken that shit out of the dock for the longest to really like touch it and rub it.
You can't even use
What?
the touchscreen. The menu doesn't
Sounds
even
personal.
respond to a touchscreen.
But now I got a
Never-
fucking stylus for it. It's crazy.
You
And-
never taken it out to touch it and rub it? Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
I think this is illegal.
Except 3
I
times.
think this is illegal. I think someone's going to jail.
So yeah, I'll go next, and
Alright.
I'm just gonna pick up what I was just saying. Smash Brothers added that level creator, but you can't use the touch screen until the very last screen when you're actually in the level creator. It's the first time you can use the touch screen on the phone.
Very stupid.
You can't do anything with the touchscreen until you're in the creator, popped up, here's your blank slate, make a level now. That's the only time you can use the touchscreen on Smash. It's so fucking stupid. Like that little, I mean, let's say little, it is in the grand scheme of things, but why would it's like just it should be there. As soon as you boot the game up, as soon as they added the level creator, they should have added the touchscreen controls to that game. It's like the 3DS had them. And anyway, little mini rant over. Mario Maker 2 made me literally forget that I even played Rocket League since I think T and I played Rocket League Friday night till about 10 o'clock, I think. And as soon as I said, all right, I'm going to go play Mario Maker 2, I'm not even joking. I forgot Rocket League existed until today at work. I was like, oh shit, I didn't play Rocket League like all weekend long. Like I didn't even think about it. It was the first game to ever do that since I started playing Rocket League. So that's, I mean, I don't know what higher praise I can give it.
Existed on my PC.
Hmm?
I forgot Rocket League existed on my PC.
But you were playing it and you were fucking tearing it up once you got warmed up.
Yeah,
I was
once I got
like,
it.
damn.
It's terrible.
Back wall defense, great clears. I was like, holy shit. Like it was fun. But Mario Maker 2's I would say the first time since I flew to Colorado and was traveling did I actually get a low battery warning in portable play, and it happened twice this weekend. And it's like I don't even know if I ever seen the low battery thing pop up before until Mario Maker 2. I'm trying to think if I ever seen it on my actual Switch. I might have seen it on somebody else's or had somebody else talk about it, but it's like, oh shit.
Me. Exact same thing.
Like, oh, low battery warning. Like maybe when it was launched and I was messing around playing it more, well, I was like, it like surprised me to see that warning pop up. So I spent 2 full battery charges in portable play plus probably another hour or 2. So I don't know what the exact time is, 2 to 2.5, 3 hours maybe on the Switch for running Mario Maker. I'm not sure. Using the stylus, and it's absolutely, I would say, mandatory to really enjoy playing in portable. And then I want to say close to 10 hours of making in docked mode and playing the story mode. So I'm gonna guess between 15 and 20 hours already, and I'm good. I could wait honestly till the holiday season before I need another game. That's how I feel about the game right now. I guess we'll get into a little nitty gritty stuff later on. I guess we'll just get everybody's first, like, how they feel about the game. So T, why don't you tell us how you're feeling about it?
It's cool. You know. I didn't even it came out Friday.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday was Saturday, and so I got it. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Mr. G. I love you, man.
I got it on Saturday, and I didn't have time to play at all because I had people over, and then we went to dinner. I didn't even turn it on until Sunday morning. And I played it off and on pretty much all day Sunday. I messed around a lot in the story mode. I didn't. I started off, just wanting to play story mode at first, and then because I knew once I started building levels, it was gonna be all over. I wouldn't be able to do anything else.
So story mode does unlock at least a new power up.
What's that?
Story mode unlocks at least one new power up. I don't know about. I didn't look.
I didn't even know that. I wasn't paying attention to it. I guess I lucked out on that. So I started building my level, and I was right back in Mario Maker mode on Wii U. And I don't know how you do it, Juice. I use a combo of Pro Controller and the stylus.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that works the best, and that feels like it feels like using the Wii U gamepad at some.
So I mean, the Pro Controller and a stylus, and you got the Pro Controller in your left hand, the stylus in your right. I don't.
No, I set it on the I do it like tabletop mode or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm doing it. Which is works great for me because you guys have seen my setup, so it's right in front of me. Everybody can't do that, I guess, when they kind of sit back and relax.
Do you have it?
I don't have it.
So you're using the stylus on the screen when it's in.
I'm using the stylus on the screen,
so you got
right?
Something that holds it, because my kickstand definitely doesn't hold it.
I use my kickstand, and it's fine. I mean, it's not great.
It doesn't fall.
No.
Wow.
Shit.
I mean, you don't have to beat it up with the stylus.
Okay, so I get you're using a little bit hard. Like what I would do. I get what you're using, the left bumper ZR and
right. I
ZL and L, and then do you use the analog stick for anything?
Using the what?
Do you use the analog stick to do anything?
Yeah, I use the analog stick to quickly kind of jaunt around.
Oh yeah, you got to get over to the menu stuff.
Yeah,
you can do quick. Okay, yeah, because I just hold I just have the Joy-Cons attached, and I just use the left Joy-Con in its attached. I could actually unhook the right Joy-Con and make it lighter. And
yeah, I mean, you could do that, and it is really weird that when you pull off those Joy-Cons, they do nothing. It's strange. They need to patch that, fix that, because that's kind of weird. because that's what I probably would be doing, is just using the left Joy-Con.
Yeah, the left Joy-Con and a stylus. If you had like
Stylus, right?
a decent, like one of the what was that little stand they released? That
Yeah,
little
I have my
charging
old
stand?
Wii U gamepad stand,
Yeah, that works.
and I
Do
use
you
that.
tell me if you take off the Joy-Con, it doesn't do anything?
No,
Really? I didn't know that.
it's really stupid. It doesn't make any
Well, you
sense.
can probably use the Joy-Con for TV mode. I'm guessing because the Pro controller works. Fine.
Yeah, when you if it's attached,
That's weird.
yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, continue with your impression. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
But yeah, it's Mario Maker. It's great. I mean, I started making my level, and I'm envying you guys because like every 5 seconds somebody's posting their new their new level. Oh, I look at this one and look at that. I'm like, I don't got time for that shit. I'm working on my masterpiece right here.
The story mode is so good.
I'm really focusing on, because Nintendo Life put up this video about what tips about making levels, and I'm like, I was already making my level before I saw the video, and I watched the video. I was like, yeah, that's the shit I already do. Like, try to stay away from troll tactics and just throwing a bunch of enemies and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, focus on like your range from platform to platform. I do that a lot. Make sure the jump is not ridiculous or just like overly far. Only all that kind of stuff. The stuff that I think Nintendo would do if they made a level. They don't just try to troll you until you get to like Star World or something.
Yeah.
Then they get a little rough, but it's great. And I guess it's really intuitive using the stylus, which I figured out beforehand. Obviously, I made those videos, and I'm loving it, man.
Cool. All right, Retro Death. I think just spoilers. I think we all love the game. So, Retro Death, why don't you go ahead and just give your quick thoughts, and then we'll get into the little more individual stuff.
Just some quick positive and negatives. You mean just without?
Yeah,
too many
if you
details
got
into
something
it?
negative, I guess let's save the nitpicks and stuff for.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, like overall, I'm surprised because like I was expecting a lot from this game, and it's just better than that, man. It's so much fun. It's like you said, it's one of those games where you receive it, you go home and shit, and after work I like turn it on. Like I came home like Saturday at like 9:30 p.m. and I was like, before I make dinner, I'll play a little bit of levels. Bam, 2 a.m. Fuck, I didn't have dinner yet. Like you don't see the time pass. Like my favorite thing about it is that it's not just so well polished. I feel that like I feel the game is so much cleaner than the first. By them removing shit like me costumes and that kind of shit. It just the game feels cleaner, well, like less like disorganized and rubbish and shit. And I think that's one of my favorite things. You just clean and you get lost in this shit, man. It's like it's not even funny. Like everything, like it feels like when we watched the first trailer, like they added like 3 or 4 things, but it's like a whole fucking different game. Like those little things they added, it's like it's night and day, man.
I haven't even tried
love it.
the moon, the night stages at all yet. I haven't even messed with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, clocked it. What's your take on the game so far?
Yeah, well, as you know, I cancelled all my pre-orders because I've got 5 kids to feed. And, next thing you know, a copy turns up in the mail. I thought Amazon fucked up. I was like, yeah, man.
We should have just stayed quiet. I almost messaged everybody. Says just let him think he got it. Got lucky.
But I mean, for those who don't know, I couldn't afford Mario Maker this month, but the boys on this channel all stepped up and got me a copy of Mario Maker and saying thank you. And it's just sometimes there's no words, to for when it comes to friends expressing friendship. And yeah, it was even now I don't know what to say to you boys. It's
I will say I think I could probably order it from Amazon UK and have it shipped to my house for the same price or cheaper than it costs in the US. I was surprised how much cheaper it is over there. Even with the conversion, even with the shitty conversion.
Yeah, the standard edition. I mean, games are fairly priced, so it's it's not too bad. But
yeah, I
but
wasn't
anyway,
sure about the just the extra subscription because I don't know if that worked with a family plan or not.
no, right, yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. I don't want to get that if it doesn't count towards a family plan.
No, but yeah. So I got Mario Maker because of the Juice is Loose. So
And I had to say, man, it was I've never felt more good about gifting something to somebody. You know,
I still right now I don't know what to say to you. I'm just it's later on if I had the chance I'd walk over and just go down on all you boys because
Whoa!
yeah,
Whoa!
I think that'd be the best way it'd
Oh
be
my
the best way
God!
to do it.
Someone call an adult. I need an adult. Mom!
yeah.
Oh!
And now he's gonna like transition into his like expression, and he's like, the game is kind of shit, man.
Hey, relax.
All right, so I'll quickly move on to a
I love
save.
it the content has the confidence to make a joke like that. And,
Oh my God.
I had a joke I could have followed with, but I just
But I mean, it was quite funny hearing from T, because I done the same thing. I had when I was playing in portable to try out the touchscreen and stuff. I had my wife bought me a proper kickstand, for the Switch, last Christmas. So I put it in that, and I had the Pro controller in my left hand, and I draw with my right hand. And I was using, the controller for quick things like, undo and delete and stuff like that, whilst putting stuff on the screen. And, you have to play it differently compared to like the Wii U gamepad. But, my God, it's still intuitive as hell. And what Retro said as well, I think one thing about Mario Maker 2 is that it feels now like a complete game. So even when you turn it on and you got play or make, and then you go into those settings and you get nice menus giving you the options of what you could do. Everything just feels refined and just
core
just
spots
clean.
now a big selection, not this little tiny
Yeah.
icon at the bottom.
It's just exactly. Everything is just there for you now. But I've nearly done my first level, and I mean, I've seen some stuff on like I think this is it about it feels like that old Nintendo magic in some ways, because I saw something on Twitter where someone just made one of those simple running levels, but it played the Banjo-Kazooie theme.
I don't understand how those music notes get like I've tried to make music levels and nothing happens. It's like you got to jump on it. I don't understand how they make them work, but
it just reminded me of that level of creativity from like Mario Paint and stuff, where people just do crazy stuff, and it's just a pure video game, magic at its purest form, and you just don't get it from anyone else. So I'm absolutely loving it. My kids have played co-op. They've been building levels together with Joy-Cons and stuff, which they don't seem to have any issue with. And they probably bugged the crap out of me, but they just get on with it. But yeah, my kids said thank you as well, all 5 of them. So it's cheers,
if
boys.
you ever
and,
need to find an excuse to play yourself, and just say to your kids, hey, the Juices Loose crew wants to play with me, I kind of obligated to you, so you got to give daddy the controller.
Kick my wife down the stairs. Kick my Switch back.
All right, so let's just get, if anybody has like negative stuff, let's get that stuff out of the way. I know Andre from Game Explain made it sound like the creation was like such a step back from the Wii U version. I was like, it literally dropped my hype level like 20% after I watched their preview, and then I watched the review before I got the game, and I'm like, oh shit, man, this guy has a lot of time in the Wii U version. I should have known when he made a comment about how it was rare to praise the gamepad for something. I should have known right there that I shouldn't trust anything he had to say after that. But he made it sound like it was just so much less intuitive and so much and cumbersome, even with the stylus in portable mode. I'm like, so that nonsense I want to address. But for me, trying to think of like the biggest negative, and it's like, I guess just it's not even big. It's a bunch of small stuff, like the fact that I can't just see my friends list that have the game, and it shows friends that have levels already. Like the fact they still have to share the level, like it's not integrated with your friends list. I guess that's kind of disappointing. Something I was hoping they might do, but as
In
far
defense of that, compared to what we complained about in Smash, because this is something smart we just toss in here, I do like it that now when somebody played my level, I see their username. Like
Mhm.
no, in the previous game, I think it just had someone played your level, someone played your level. 20 people played your level, and now I can see like, hey, Juice played your level, and I was like, at first I was like, oh, then I don't need to enter all this fucking shitty codes. I can just Juice played your level. I can click on it. I can go to your profile, and guess what? Your levels are there.
Mhm. Well, the
Does
one
does that leave a list of a complete list of everyone who's played your level, or just like a top 5
you
or the
can,
last person?
I think you can see everybody. I don't know.
I meant it in the notifications. That's why I said it. I don't know how much it remembers, but I meant it like in like the notifications that pop up.
Yeah, I would say the other, like in the making process, I really didn't come across anything. I'm like, oh my god, like this needs to be changed or fixed. Like I'm pretty much totally fine. I think they're gonna keep adding and tweaking the game. But getting on to what I said about the friends list, if you follow somebody, and I'm only following 2 people right now, so you have to go to the courses, and you have to wait for it to load the courses. Then you go over to like popular, you have to wait for those to load. Then you can right bumper over to the very right to the star, and then it just lists Retro Death in his 2 levels, and I have to scroll down to get to Robert, and then I see his three levels, and I'd have to scroll down below him to get to the next person. It doesn't just have the person's name. I click on it, and then it takes me to their profile, like it what the Wii U actually did. You would follow somebody, it would have your list of all your people you followed. You click on it, and then it would take you to their levels. Now it's the levels are already loaded in the screen where you're following. So if you were following 100 people, it would just become such a problem to actually go through and find the person you're following, because you have to go through all the levels they've created too. So hopefully they'll tweak that. And right now, that's, I guess, would be my biggest complaint with that part of the game. Like I said, I don't really have any issues with
I
the
have one
creating.
big negative one.
So if somebody, I guess, Retro, go ahead.
And it's something that really bugs. I tried like all the modes, everything a little bit, and this is a big complaint. It's nothing small. I tried the multiplayer versus, and first of all, there's 2 problems I have with that. One, it doesn't just pick levels with people who selected the multiplayer tag.
Yeah.
So you often get levels, for example, like a race to the finish, and there's one fucking Koopa car there. You cannot play that level with 4 people. There's other ones that have, like, for example, the little lift thingy that moves around. You can't beat that with 4. There's too many levels that aren't built for actually 4 people. And my main complaint, and I fucking hate it when games do that, is that I cannot choose to play with people with good connections. I don't want to play with fucking assholes who didn't buy a LAN adapter. Like, you're playing with 4 people, and I swear, over half the time, it is so fucking laggy. But I mean, like, even for me, and I played like on the NES, and I thought Mega Man looked cool in slow motion sometimes, but it's so
I've seen
slow. It is like 1 frame a second bullshit. It is not even fun. And you notice it's often one person, because sometimes somebody's like, I can handle it. They don't even know, no, I'm dropping out. They drop out, and all of a sudden the game runs perfectly smooth, because it was just this one asshole who didn't have a LAN adapter. And I don't like it that I can't just see people's connection quality.
Yeah, I would say the biggest, the fact that if you're playing multiplayer, it should only, I mean, there's got to be enough levels out there now. It should only play levels that are, somebody actually went and marked multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly.
That, to me, that's just, it's not just an oversight. Maybe it is just it feels like more than just an oversight. It's like
Yeah,
they
but no,
didn't
because
want
you
to.
can see people who do build it for 4 people. Like, they actually, for example, have like a stage setup, and there's 4 cars. Everybody can choose a car, and
Mhm.
that's way too many car levels, but whatever, people take it into account, and you see the tags in the levels, and sometimes it just doesn't. It shouldn't not take levels.
Yeah, that's something that they need to change, because if I've seen that where someone like my flying level, like there's no way, I guess, because they're on separate screens. If someone gets way out ahead, is it like when you're local?
That would work because, for example, power-ups. A power-up block
Automatically
never
multiply.
dies.
Okay.
Everybody gets one. But with your level, for example, I think it would work perfectly fine. But let's say, for example, there's a shell. You can pick up a shell and you can kill somebody with it. So you could, for example, wait, somebody comes flying and just toss a shell at them and shit, But that's part of the game, I guess.
Mhm.
The flying level you made is playable with 4 people.
And I mean, I'm not gonna even bother making a level that I think would be work for multiplayer. Like, I'm not gonna think about it that way, especially if it's not gonna choose that anyway. Like, maybe if it worked that way and said it only chooses levels where you mark it as a multiplayer, then maybe I'd go to try to design one or something. But
It
that
is
seems-
fun because it can it's seriously it's sad that it doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes you fall on levels that are so much fun, like a very simple like robot level platformer, but people have, for example, like on-off platforms. So you see somebody jumping for what, and you quickly like hit it so the platform disappears and shit. Like that shit is hilarious. Like it is a really cool concept and it's so much fun, but it's like I feel like it's the part of the game they put the least amount of effort in.
yeah.
And well,
Hopefully.
talking about that, I wish there was somehow you could see like replays of other people, because like I see on my stages actually already they say that there has been a multiplayer versus played on like 2 of the stages.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, that would be cool to see how
On yours,
chaotic.
really? You got a
Yeah.
notification for that?
No, you see it under more info. Like you click the
And
thing
it shows
more
that it
info,
was played as a
and
multiplayer.
it'll show times played, and then one of the things also is multiplayer versus
Oh,
played.
that's cool.
And it shows how many times it's been played.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to see 4 people going at it,
Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know, there's probably affect the connection even worse. Like Donkey Kong Country, it's a special mode to do the time trial, so it knows to record. But it would be cool if the best time on each level was recorded. But I mean, that would be a lot of fucking storage needed to save all those fucking clips.
Yeah,
But
I know.
I can't imagine how
that's asking a lot.
It'd still be cool though.
So, any other negatives? Clocked at T. You got any?
Well, I think my negative came out organically. Basically, the Joy-Con not being active when you detach them.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, just left Joy-Con in your hand, stylus in the right. That'd be
great.
ideal.
What about are any of you guys lefties? I guess
No.
okay, all right, yeah, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's just the way I hold, but like it's so often that I'm making a level because I make it through the I'm holding the whatever the actual switch itself, and then
Mhm.
I'm using my left hand because I'm a lefty. And there's a lot of times where I constantly press play and I'm like, what's going on? And I start the game. I'm like, fuck, I didn't mean to start the game. And it's just my hand, my left hand is always touching the play button.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, that's a lefty thing there.
it's a lefty thing because I'm always fucking starting it. It happens a lot, where it holds. When you hold it, you go, let's go.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
That's
oh,
a cool
shit.
addition, by the way.
And
where
I
you
hear it,
could-
I'm like, oh fuck, and I always constantly am starting my level.
And I did think of one negative in the creation. The fact that you can hit the X button, which Andre, of course, didn't mention, and it makes frees up your screen. So let's say you have ground selected, you hit the X button, and it gets rid of all the clutter, and you can just make your screen move, or make your level, move stuff around. Obviously, when you want to select a different resource, you have to bring it back up. I wish I could, if I wanted the left, icon, the tools on the left, which I rarely use. Once I set the theme and stuff, I never need the left icon or the left, the tools there. Just have me hit to the left and just make it disappear. And the next time I hit to the left, it opens back up. So it should always be off the screen until I need it. That would be the one change I would make. And same with the right side, because for saving, that's the only time I use to the right. And that shouldn't always be on the screen. It should just be hidden until I need it. I hit to the right, it pops open that menu. I think that would be the only change I would make to how things
You got
work.
you got daggers for Andre, huh?
Yeah, that I
Right
don't know
now-
if you listened to his 30-minute preview of him just shitting all over, nitpicking like he was complaining that he had to toggle from the copy to the grab multiple objects. Like it's just you hit it twice.
I love it how intuitive that is. The shortcuts on the controller.
Yeah, I was
and
like,
everything.
he made it sound like that was so bad. I'm like, dude, but after like, I don't know, the first hour, I was like, didn't even think about it anymore.
So I think I heard like what you said, and I saw some of their shit on Twitter as well because people like it. I don't follow that garbage anymore. But I was like you, where I was also thinking like, oh man, is it really gonna be that bad? And I started getting afraid of it and shit. And then I had it in my head, and dude, it works. The Switch works so much more is so much more responsive. I feel than the gamepad. It runs a lot smoother and all that kind of shit. Like I don't have zero issues with it. Even like because I'm using my finger and shit, I don't even need a stylus. My one negative about the creation that I don't like is that they removed the fact that you can shake items to change them.
Yeah.
Because I kept doing that's one of mine too. I kept trying to do that.
Yeah.
It not working.
You know the
But
replacement
like
for it, though,
enemies
right?
and doors and no, when you have like an enemy and it's green, you shake it, it becomes red. When you have a key door, you shake it, it becomes a normal door. You know that was fast and intuitive, and now you got to really like select it always.
And with the stylus, I think you hold it for half a second and it pops up the menu.
I mean,
Especially-
again, that's the thing that because we're used to the other way to do it.
But the improvement to that is, yeah, you shook a Goomba and it became red, and then you shook it became green again. But then if you wanted to put wings on it, you had to find the wings through all the items.
That is true.
Place it and then drag it onto the Goomba. Now you just hold on the Goomba. You have the big mushroom, the green, the red. Put wings on it, put a parachute on it. It's all right there. So I think you gained more than you lost with that one particular.
I agree because I was.
Thing, and obviously they fixed a certain aspect of it. I just think, for me, especially after 300 hours of Mario Maker, the first one, that's just you're just used to certain things,
Yeah.
You get over it after a while, and then you realize it's better in some ways. So
Yeah, I completely agree because that was always going to be only my little niggle at the moment. But I think it's just all based off, like you said, what we're just used to. I was already trying to shake stuff or press B to go backwards or whatever. Just trying to figure out the menus. And once you do get used to it, I kind of agree with Juice. Just holding down and then having everything highlights for what you can add to that creature. It's actually better. It is better. It'd be nice to shake it to add the shake off just for one change cut or something, but I don't mind it at all. I prefer it.
That's more like a real creation tool too. By the way, if that's something that happens in Photoshop. You basically hold a certain tool down, and you get options for more tools from that. So that's a very kind of a creation type of thing. Anyway,
I still would have liked the shake option to be there, just to have that Nintendo extra to it. Just to shake things and mess around with items, just to add a bit of extra flair. So it would have been nice to have them both there. They could both work. There's no reason why they can't both be there. But
except shaking also took off. Like, let's say if you had wings on a Goomba, you shook it and it removed them.
Shook his wings off.
So I mean, I guess you could have had.
I do miss Amiibo though. I do.
Nah, I definitely.
I haven't made an original Mario level yet. So maybe once I do that, I will.
Because what I like, you don't have the amiibo and shit, which is like I like it because it's cleaner and shit. But you can, when you're playing, select between 4 playable characters that you want to choose. So they bring that back, and you can use those in all modes and shit. So
I'd rather
have that.
An entire 4
for themed levels, because I think with the vertical level, someone's gonna make the most amazing Metroid Mario level ever. Even on the Wii U version, someone made one so clever where you go in the first door, aka pipe, you get the fire flower, which let you access the next area, and then you would whatever you needed. I forget, if it was New Super Mario Brothers themed or if it was the original. Then you had to get small to get through the small, like low parts of the level, and it was like really clever considering how limited it was. And of course, the character was Samus on screen, which made it even feel better. So I think that's the part where I'll miss when you make a themed level. You don't have that option to do what Trello is. It made Sonic levels and had you play a Sonic. And then that also opened up a new, where you were small, you could break bricks even small. So there was a total different strategy there. And it gave the original Mario Brothers theme a little more
personality,
a little more reason to use it. So
I don't know why they took it out. To be fair, I mean,
the Switch is full amiibo compatible. All these people have all these amiibos. It was already in the first game. I don't know if they started from scratch with 2, which I don't think they did. So
I don't think
code has to
they
be
showed an interview recently where they said they started working on the sequel pretty much when they started working on the Switch. I think I'm sure there was an interview somewhere earlier that I saw where they mentioned that. So it's always been there. It's been there for a while.
So anybody think of any negatives or anything want to say before we?
I need to play the game a lot more.
I don't really have any negatives. I just really love it.
The only negatives are playing certain people's levels. That's my biggest negative.
The only negative is your fucking skill level.
Jesus.
No, but
my negative is the criticism, yo. I just want to make some fun little levels, and someone's like, "Nah, that's just too basic."
So I'm gonna start off with probably the thing that stood out the most to me for the improvements, and I would say it's all the new themes and music that goes along with them for all the retro themes, like the desert in the Mario 1, the desert, and like Super Mario World, the night desert with the wind and the music that followed. Like that to me feels like somebody said it's like 30 years later DLC for some of these games. It's like brand new content in the original Super Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers 3, and it's like some of the music, and I haven't used them for creation, but playing the story mode, you get to experience a lot of these new themes, like the snow level on Super Mario World, how fucking awesome that looks. And to me, that's the stuff that didn't seem like a big deal when they mentioned it, but actually experiencing it feels even more like a new game. If somebody makes it's Super Mario World, obviously you can tell by the visual style, but when you're on a fucking desert level with this unique music and at night with the wind blowing, like Ninja Gaiden 2 or 3, whatever, had that annoying level where the wind would change direction. And I'm like, this just feels like
more than one.
It just feels like so much beyond just that was the bane of my existence as a kid. But it just, to me, like that struck me as like, wow, this is like brand new content for Super Mario World. Like I don't even think I've seen the jungle stage in the original Mario Brothers or in Mario Brothers 3 yet. So that to me was like, it kind of blew my mind, and I wasn't even thinking about it or expecting it to be anything cool. So Robert, why don't you go with something you stood out to you the most, I guess, positive?
Maybe the story mode.
Yeah.
The story mode was like, I never quite thought that they'd add a full blown basically Mario game in a maker game. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh shit, duh, Nintendo could also make a single player with, it's basically just single player multiplayer maker, and it's great because you could kind of play however you want, and the story mode's really really fun,
and it has things that aren't in the fucking game that like
yeah, that's
clear
what that.
conditions
So it
and
does, right? Exactly. Yeah, because
You have to be able to unlock the stone at some point.
Because I kept looking, I'm like, yo, this stone, you got a toad, and I'm like, I know I can't place toads around. So and it would be cool
You
if you
can play
can
a
do
toad.
what? No, place a toad.
Have you
Oh,
played story
place-
mode? There's actually a toad that follows you around. That you
Yeah,
have
like
to
you place a toad
keep-
and he'll follow you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
There's
that.
like exclusive things in the levels they created, clear conditions and items in the levels that you can't use yourself making a level.
Yeah.
To be fair, isn't that one of the things you said you wanted in the game when we had that discussion, Juice?
I thought they were gonna make I thought they had the opportunity to just make like a overworld map and like let's say Super Mario World, for example. Here's World 1. Here's all these levels. They're just levels made by people, but kind of laid out and felt more. I actually almost prefer what they ended up with the little 3D stuff, having the little conversations, taking the jobs. It almost, to me, that almost fits better than just having them make like a regular 8-world Mario game, on top of it,
Mhm.
and then just mix and match. Maybe each world be stay in a theme. I almost prefer what they had ended up doing with the castle rebuilding stuff, because I've honestly, those levels are all great. Obviously, they chose the best of the best. They didn't probably just let's say make the level, we're going to throw it in. I'm guessing they definitely picked the best ones and had everybody test them out, because those are honestly, I think I played Robert's 3 levels, 2 retro levels, and then 1 other random level. That's the only user created levels I've played. And the ones that are in the story mode are all top tier in my opinion, except the early ones aren't amazing. But so right now where I'm at, it's like every level I play is like, holy shit, that was so clever. That was so cool. Especially the teeter totter one where you like fall down slowly. You get to see everything that's awaiting you when you make your way back up.
Yeah.
Fucking
Well, right now I'm on the story mode. I think it's 80% done, so I'm almost done.
nice.
But they get pretty damn creative. There's always but again, I still feel like they're very Mario like levels, and you could still and they still
Yeah, I get that feeling for some, and then there's others.
there's some that feel like, oh, this is something like a creator would make.
There's
what I
one
mean?
where you get in the bone shell, and it's a lava level, and the lava goes to the very top where you swear you're
Oh
gonna get
yeah,
crushed,
yeah.
and it has this like effect that makes it look like black and white or something. It has the music. I didn't even discover that one yet. And like it's the lava's rising and lowering. You have to obviously get to a safe spot before the lava comes back up, and is like, holy shit, like I want to make a level based on this. That was probably the standout level for me so far, where I was like, holy shit, like this is cool. And I wouldn't expect to see, they have rising and lowering like lava in Mario games, but this one definitely doesn't feel like it would ever been in a Mario game.
No, I know, but like I still feel like compared to, again, if someone's making a fucking calculator, I keep bringing up a calculator, like I feel like it still feels like courses that Nintendo would make. I guess like that it's a Nintendo thing. And
Yeah,
not,
I'm guessing, like I said, they play tested these levels and picked the cream of the crop.
yeah, probably.
T, you got something to add to something you love? A standout?
I haven't played it enough. Like I've mostly been building. So
Have you messed with the 3D World theme at all?
Story mode. What's that?
Have you messed with the 3D World theme at all?
I haven't. I actually been messing mostly right now with Super Mario World. But I dabbled in it a little bit. I clicked on it to see what it was like. And I forgot because whatever you're working on goes away. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. It's completely disconnected.
Well, you could save first and then
yeah.
and wipe it.
I didn't mean I lost it or anything, but it was just telling me to save or you're gonna lose your progress in that. So, but I just did it to look at it and see what it looked like. It looks freaking awesome.
Is the Koopa car in the other modes? I didn't even look. I know it's in 3D World.
Car? No.
Okay. And that's interesting. Clock, I know you started Saturday night playing. I
Mhm.
don't know how much time, but is there like a standout thing you can think of?
Yeah, so I mean, going back to the 3D world thing just then, I you know, has anyone actually looked at how fucking nice 3D world looks in 2D?
Amazing.
That's
It
great.
looks
It's
it looks
great.
stunning. The water effects, the background, how fluid it is. It just for me it pisses on the new Super Mario Bros. U style.
Yeah,
And
can they
just
use that going forward?
It does, but
that's
also at
it.
the same time, the new Super Mario Brothers U styles never look so fucking good to me. Especially like I don't know if you've seen the snow setting yet.
Yeah,
with all
they
the
have
trees.
improved.
That looks
Definitely a few levels. Yeah,
significantly better than the new Super
yeah.
Mario Brothers U
But what I love about the 2D,
3D world.
3D world is the fact that straight away you get the cat mechanics in there. Now,
Mhm.
when I was messing around, I was like, man, already, man, if Nintendo, just chuck this into a full on new Super Mario 3D world, fucking 2 or some shit, and done this as a new 2D Mario game with lots of new styles, lots of fresh levels and stuff, I'd be in heaven because I think it
Super
looks.
Mario 2D World or something. Just
Yeah, 2D world. Yeah, it looks great. But yeah, I'm really surprised how much effort they put into that separate little mode, and I can't wait to really try some more levels on it. I do want to do some of the nighttime levels and the snow levels. So that's definitely by
just be
far.
warned. 3D World doesn't have nighttime levels.
That's a she,
Doesn't have
baby.
nighttime. I mean, it in one hand, I can see why someone would be disappointed. On the other hand, it brings so much new to the table.
Yeah,
I would just
I'll be
advise
past it.
just slowly, just as soon as you get in, just slowly look through all the available items, like so you know
Yeah.
what's not there because the tracks aren't there. I guess the only thing I really wish was there are the on off switch with the red and blue blocks, so you
Mhm.
could block doors unless you hit a fucking switch, but
Yeah.
it ain't there. So and there's no one way gates, so it's really hard to come up with place where people can't go back the way they came. Like there's a lot of I had to come up with clever solutions. So one solution is put the green pipe, the exit pipe, flush to a wall above the ground so you can't enter it back, can't go back in. And then the other one is have the pipe you drop down, and if you jump back up, there's invisible blocks that prevent you from going back in the pipe. So there's ways to get around that.
Mhm.
But it's weird to me that they didn't have that one got omitted, I guess. But there's so much other new stuff.
Yeah, I love as well like the little effect when you first go in, and it looks 2D and then kind of like stretches out to
Oh yeah, when
3D
you
in the
switch to the
background.
play, yeah, it switches to a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
angle. That threw me off at first.
yeah. It's really weird, but it's also super cool. So yeah, I mean, for me the 3D World section looks absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to play with that more. So that's definitely my biggest highlight, and it makes you excited for hopefully DLC for
Mhm.
other stuff like that. With the spaces that we're all predicting to be filled in. So yeah, like I said, I only played on. I have I got it on Saturday, and I played it. I probably put about 5 hours into it so far because I'm doing a one level at the moment. But that's 5 hours on one level. I think which is probably short, but also get into a decent amount of time just for your average level. But yeah, I need to tomorrow night. I'll definitely be playing some of your levels, and
Yeah, you're kind of obligated to play our levels now. I mean, they know.
No, I'll be on it all tomorrow night. So I can't wait.
Are we gonna renege on that?
My levels are like Super Mario Brothers 4, yo. You gotta check it out.
So I think I'm gonna share a story, just a positive, like something when I was making a level, just kind of getting back into the Mario Maker swing of things, and then we could maybe talk about things we'd like to see with like
I
the.
can't say my positives and shit and
Oh
just
shit!
being
Go
like
ahead.
dumped in
Go
shit.
ahead, Retro Death.
Doesn't matter anyway, because everybody, like, I wanted to say, like you said, the atmosphere and shit, and then I was like, well, okay, I gotta come up with something else. I was like, oh, there's a story, and then Robert's done, and then there's a story. Oh, that's great, Then I was like, well, okay, technically, like, my favorite new thing is the 3D world. Bam, and I clocked it comes with this fucking 3D world shit. There's so much new shit, and I think I would have to stick on the 3D world, because in the beginning, when the game came out and shit, in the beginning you're like, 3D world, yeah, that's cool, and new mode and shit, it looks pretty cool. And then you start looking at the way it looks in the game, and you're like, holy shit, this just looks so much fucking better than I thought it would. And then I made a 3D world level, and then afterwards I wanted to make something that looked kind of 3D, but I needed the original assets and shit. I was like, I'll make a new Super Mario Brothers level and shit. That shit looks like fucking garbage now. It's so bad.
Really, I was surprised at how good the new Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, but if
I still think it
if
looks
you
nice.
make a 3D world one and then you go back to the new Super Mario Brothers shit, it just you really start to notice, like, oh my god, 3D world actually looks that much better.
It
and
does
shit.
look quite a bit better, but I probably have, I want to say 8 to 10 hours in a 3D world level, which in the jungle setting, which I think looks the best.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
the
The
too.
jungle.
water and
amazing.
everything, which I put a couple clips. It's pretty much done, but I like to let them sit a few days, because I think I already kind of came up with a possible addition.
But it's
But
like
anyway,
every single skin in the 3D world looks just absolutely amazing. The way even the backgrounds, they're still kind of 3D. Like when you make a level and you stretch it out, you see the background doesn't repeat itself as often as others, and it kind of rotates and shit. And
I wonder,
oh,
does
it's just
anybody
beautiful.
does the background stay the same when you do a full vertical, which is like 8 screens, or it's more than 8 screens? It's like
What is it?
the
I don't know
vertical
yet because I
vertical
didn't
levels are
try
like,
one yet.
I think it's 8. No, it was more
Well,
than 8.
I did a
But green
vertical.
pie, and I'm just wondering if the background, wouldn't it be cool as if you got to the top and it was like just sky, if
Oh no, well no,
in the
I don't
background instead
know.
of seeing the same back, that would be cool. But
Yeah.
all right, so I'm gonna share just something, like I said, getting back into the swinging thing. So Saturday morning, it was late morning. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a 3D world level. I want the water jungle theme. I want the water rising and lowering. I want to base all the puzzles and stuff off that mechanic, where you have to wait for the water to raise up again to like get through areas. So that was my idea, and I start making it, and I got hills going down into the water, and then the water would lower, and then I had areas where I had to climb back up, and I was like, you know what, and you have cheap cheeps, but as soon as the water gets too low, then they're bouncing on the surface and they never go back in the water. So they're always bouncing on the surface. So now they're gone, and especially when they're bouncing on the surface, makes them really hard to deal with. It's like, I don't like that. Let me put a pipe. Let me raise the water up a little bit, and that kind of fixed it. And then I was like, I'll have a branching path system where if you go the highway, there's a reward. And I thought I was gonna have the 50 coins. You got to find 5 of them. And that would be the clear condition. So I did like, I want to say 3 or 4 of those challenges based solely off getting those. And then I put a checkpoint, and I went to set a clear condition. It says you can't with the checkpoint. So that was a bummer. I'm going to replace the coins with red coins, and then put a locked door at the end. So you still have to do that. But, and I'm like, probably, I don't know, 4 hours into the level, I kind of made it max length. I kind of started filling in land. And I went to bed. I'm like, you know what? That's trash. That level fucking sucks. Like, I hate everything about it. Went to bed. I woke up. I'm eating breakfast. I'm like, you know what? What if I just put the water at midway and don't have it rise and lower, and I don't have to worry about all those problems with the cheap cheeps? And I was like, instead of having the dual path, why don't I take that bottom path and just loop it back around to where the upper path went, and just have it a continuous thing? Start placing some enemies. Put the grading where the cat can climb, added a cat suit, and then I put later in the level, if you keep the cat suit, if you're good enough to keep the cat suit, you can kind of cut and maybe 30% of the level off, and then avoid some of the harder stuff. And then I don't know, another 5-6 hours later, I'm thinking, man, this might be one of the best creations I've ever had. So I went from absolutely hating it, thinking it was trash, I was going to erase it, to just making some tweaks, and now I'm just like absolutely in love with the level. I want to upload it, but like I said, I like to let them sit for a few days, replay it, and if I think of something I want to change, then I don't have to like delete it and re-uploaded it. So like I was just like, I went from the lowest to low to the highest to high in basically overnight. And I love using the touchscreen when you get to the items. Like Retro said, how it is really responsive. I was using the R and L to cycle, and I was like, what if I use the stylus to just swipe left and right? Boom, swipes through all of those wheels, item wheels, like really, really fast, really responsive. And I mean, I'm picking my item, and it's so intuitive. I can't believe Andre was just ripping that stuff, because it feels so good to me. The touch screen with the stylus, it's so good. But so yeah, let's get into something you maybe want with an update like Mario Maker 1. It almost was like Splatoon 2 or Splatoon. Like they kept adding things. They added checkpoint flags, and they had another batch of updates, added the donut bouncer things, and I can't think of all the keys. They added key doors, and all that came later. So I'm hoping that they continually release free content. I wouldn't mind paid DLC for like a new theme, but I'm hoping they just keep adding little things, free updates, and continue to support the game. So something, if you can think of something that's missing that you would hope they'd add in an update, or just coming up with something out of the blue. The only thing, like off the top of my head, like for 3D World, when you do like I like to make my levels look aesthetically pleasing, and then the old other themes I use the I don't know what you call them. They're platforms, but they also they're like 3x3 to start with, and they have like a texture to them that I can use to like, and it's always in the background, so you can use it. Like, say you got an open background, you drag one of those full screen, put the platform part of it,
like the grates. You mean like
it's part of, yeah, it's grates on 3D World, but that's all you get on 3D World. There's only the grates. And so one of my tricks was always to use, let me boot the game up and actually see what they're called. To use those to just like add aesthetics. And so I hope they would add to the 3D World like something to, and maybe for all levels, just add completely background aesthetic things. And they can all have existed in Mario games before. Like in the older themes, I use the vine sometimes just to have, even if there's no intention of you ever using the vine, just to kind of have something more interesting to look at. And I guess that would be something I don't really expect, but I think it would be cool if they added something like that. So you can just make them look aesthetically pleasing, and it has no effect on the actual course. I guess that would be mine. Anybody think of anything? No, it's kind of a tough question.
Yeah, it's a tough question. There's still so much, I haven't dived into. I do like the ideas of, because I kind of like you. I do try to make my levels like themed in some way. So having, to be fair, when you do try, you can get quite creative with already what's on hand. To, like you said, to hide things halfway, like platforms and ledges, so they look like they're perhaps like dangling vines or dangling metal grates and stuff like that. It's kind of what I do. So you can be quite creative, but I completely understand wanting to probably have a few more options, for sure. But in terms of anything I would like included now, oh gosh. I suppose. This goes back to the amiibos, I suppose, doesn't it? Wanting to, scan them in, and maybe have like you scan them in, and then you get those custom amiibo sound effects. So you scan in your Sonic amiibo, and when you collect the coins, they sound like rings or stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. And I don't it just I suppose I don't want to get annoyed thinking about amiibos again, and how little they're being used now, and just survive on a Smash Bros line. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough question. Just,
But for me, considering you brought up the amiibo anyway, because I don't want the amiibo back myself, but considering you have like 4 playable Mario characters you can choose from, I think considering also when you play like the endless mode and shit, like Peach isn't really kidnapped anymore in this game. I would have liked it if they add like maybe like a few Mario playable characters that you can choose from extra ones, like Peach or Wario, like actual Mario characters. Like Toadette has never been done before, and they created her out of nothing. Like she doesn't, So I think it would be interesting to just add like. I don't want like a million amiibo, like I said, because I like how clean this game is and how uncluttered it feels. So just like 2 or 3 extra characters. Like I think that would be a pretty cool.
Yeah,
idea.
that's a good idea because why is Toadette in there and not Peach? And why? Like if I like that you can play as any character, but also I wouldn't mind if you could force like, hey, this level's built around playing as Peach. Make a Princess Peach level and have it required that you play as Peach. I don't know if they would give her the floaty mechanics or anything. That would it'd have to almost be a separate mode. Like, hey, this is a Princess Peach level and it doesn't work with any others. But so I guess that's probably why they didn't do it. But just give her Mario controls and let me be as Peach.
Exactly. Just remove the floating shit. I mean, even the original Mario Bros. Had a Peach in it. That could be a sprite and shit. Like, just give it because Luigi doesn't really play different now either anymore. So just make the same characters and shit, like the same stats, and just a few extra characters.
For
Those two.
Sorry, go on.
When they add Super Mario Bros. 2 as a design or style, level to style, then maybe they'll put Peach in there.
That has to have Peach then, yeah.
That could be like a whole DLC kit, like you have and then Peach is playable and shit, and like that. That's interesting, like that.
Yeah. I was going to say for the extra customization, I remember on the original Soul Calibur, when you unlock characters and stuff, you can actually edit the intro. Because the intro was all in-game graphics, and you could have like different characters at different points. Like when Sophia, with like Brett, like blush and stuff, you could like swap it over for like Cervantes, and it just looked like really, really off. But like when you mentioned, Peach and stuff like that, it would have been cool out of the flagpole. If you went into the castle, they said, our princess is in another castle, then you could like scan your amiibo and have like a different character there. It's like someone else that you're meant to be rescuing as a clear goal. So you have to rescue, Bowser as a clear goal, or Wario or whatever. That and they're locked inside the castle, or whatever. But just a bit of extra customization that could be quite fun. But yeah.
Yeah, I should have mentioned this question before we started, so people could have thought about it more. Because I'm sure if there's got to be somebody who's put a video out of all the things that aren't in Mario Maker that are in all the games. But I don't know, I guess if you don't want a surprise spoiled, there's an unlock in the story mode.
Yeah.
That is a throwback.
And it's so good.
To a specific game series on the Game Boy. So it completely
played a level.
You can make a level completely designed around that power up, which I think was that's the one I played online. I saw it was a highly rated one, and it's
I think we played the same one. I think they fucking gave that's one of those that they gave me a multiplayer. You can't play that shit in multiplayer.
Oh really?
But
yeah,
it's a really cool brand new mechanic power up. Maybe bring.
Would I like it?
Oh, you love it.
Fuck yeah,
you really love the series. I think you love.
Oh man, wait. How I mean, you must know about it. To be honest,
I don't remember hearing anything.
I don't think you never saw.
I don't even know how it's spoilers because you're gonna end up playing it online, like regardless.
Well, that's how it got spoiled for me.
Okay.
All right.
What the fuck?
Nice one, T. So I'm just trying to think.
Killing me.
Is there anything missing from like?
That ass though.
Yeah. The trail chimes in. Welcome to the podcast, man. I thought you
I
left.
blacked out, yo. I blacked out.
That's what you call an onion booty.
Terrell decided not to get Mario Maker 2 because he can't choose Sonic. So maybe if they added the amiibo support,
Yeah, you would get
if
it.
you have Sonic again, maybe you'd consider getting it.
Nah, at that point, I just want a Sonic Maker game because then I can get a better Sonic game. God damn it! A lot of depression sets in, Sonic fans. We know. I know. They gotta get their shit together eventually. Maybe.
Hey, Robert finished a Sonic game.
Yeah, he finished the game that came out like 2 years ago.
You should check it out. A video back of the backlog.
Kylo Ren is a piece of shit, though.
Yeah,
all he fucking does is dog you out, man.
yeah, he's always talking shit to me, yo. Check it out.
Check
on my-
Kylo-
It's on my channel.
Which one?
What? The main one.
Oh,
Gaming with
okay.
me.
Thought it was a new remix. I didn't fucking know.
And then I was at
He working on that R&B album.
I was at work today after obviously having the game all weekend. I'm like trying to think of ideas. And then I was like at work and just floodgates opened in my brain. All these ideas. I'm like, holy shit, like I can't wait to make that. And I was like, 5 minutes later, I had a completely different concept. And I'm like, shit, now I want to make that. And then I was like, and I have an idea for a 3 or 4 stage Bowser fight where the first time he's regular, then he's maybe giant, and then he's Meowser using warp pipes to like take you to different sides of the map so you don't have the fireballs coming constantly. I'll have to test it out to see how close to Meowser you have to get for him to start doing his. Have you seen the wing Meowser's different and things his attacks? Like he goes in the background, he climbs up.
Yeah, he does a lot of things.
Climbs up the platform you're on. He'll climb up with like his back to the screen, hop up, and then he flies off screen and he's in the background shooting fireballs at you from the background. It's like holy shit. And then if you put the grating on, he climbs it like Cat Mario.
It's crazy.
It's like, oh fuck. So
That's a big bitch.
but then I get these. One of the other things that this reminded me of, I get these ideas in my head, I'm like, oh yes, I want to do that. And then when you actually go to try to do it, you hit the limitations, and you can't get your vision that you had actually to work, or you find out
limited by your imagination.
Yeah, no, my imagination definitely exceeded the first game for sure. I had this idea, like I can't remember the specifics, but I was like, that's so awesome. And then I'm like, oh wait, you can only go 2 screens high. Yeah, I want in my mind is like you're gonna feel like you're at the top of a cliff, and you're so far above the ground. But I was like, oh, as soon as you get to the top of the screen, you can't jump over like a block that's at the top of the screen. So like it was very limited, and I actually had to scrap the idea, whatever, because it wasn't gonna work. So
that's what I had in the maze I made that you kind of sucked at playing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel somehow this game it doesn't have as strict as a limit as the other game. I feel like you could almost fill the whole screen with blocks, which is something you couldn't do before. But I did start to run out at like on-off switches and shit, so I had to like exchange it with like spikes, and it kind of defeated the purpose of what that segment was about. So you got to kind of like work with what you have, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because in your mind, like I did that before too. With like I had all these one-way gates, and it's like each area, you do the challenge, and you go out the gate. And then you can't go back, but I didn't have anything that could kill you, so it was just about challenging that one screen worth. And then I was like, oh shit, you can't put any more gates down. So it's like fuck. So I had to really stream it back to my initial idea was way more grand, but I think that had to do with probably system RAM and shit and the game running. I'm guessing there's a lot more You can place a lot more things, I would think now. I don't know though. Maybe it wasn't.
Sorry, I was going to say. I think I find just the way people create levels in Mario Maker, it, it is completely different to what Nintendo do in terms of what we've grown up with, what we generally love in Mario games. That their levels are normally they're open, they're very structured, they're not overwhelming all on your face. Whereas when we create levels, we feel like we need to just throw everything at you at every split second. And why do you think that is? Why do we want these more harder, intense, in your face levels than the casual?
I think because it's
long
more fun to create when you're constantly putting stuff, and then you get to test that little section one at a time. And that was my first level I ever made. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do one screen at a time. I want to make a really tough challenge here. All right, next screen. All right, completely different, but a really tough challenge here. That was before checkpoints. And then but you try to do them all back to back to back. And you're like, oh shit, like this is an impossible level, doing it from start to finish. And I think it's just the fun of creating.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but that's
creating
my
the
personal
challenges, but not being able to.
like, oh, this would be fun. Let's put,
Yeah.
oh, one Goomba, that's silly. Let's make it giant, put wings on it, and then next thing you know, it's like nearly impossible and frustrating. So I don't know. Like I never went in with the intention of making super hard levels, and then my clear rates on the first Mario Maker were like 1%, 0.9%. I'm like, really? Like, damn. So I had to. That was before checkpoints, of course. I feel like between 10 and 20% is like the sweet spot for like a good level. It can still be challenging, but once you get down under like 5% clear rate, then it's just, I think to me it's not a fun experience most of the time. So, but yeah, you're right. People just have a tendency they go all out and make hard levels. And that's I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's psychology to it or if it's just what I said. It's just more fun to make levels when you're constantly putting challenges and stuff in the way.
Well, I think people are just kind of like, in a way, a little bit psycho and shit, Like, people playing like the Mario games, and people are like, oh, Nintendo, this is easy, this is that, and shit. And while you're playing all these Mario games for your whole life and shit, you're like, you know what? Oh, this room has like 2 Goombas. You know what this need? An army, and like a giant one with wings
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a cannon on top. People like going crazy.
Well, that's why when I make a level, I put like the most I'll put if to make it make sense is usually you put like 3 at max or 4 because they usually have them in a line, and so it's like it makes it where the player could jump and even bounce on top of one after another, and not try.
I mean, yeah, you can just place the enemies, but if you really want to get next level with it, you space them out for if somebody wants to do a speed run, and that's where there's people do that.
I know, yeah, where you could kind of like run.
Then you got people who they see, all right, you jumped here with this momentum, you're gonna land here. All right, I'm gonna put a fireball here. So you die almost every time you make that jump. There's just a different mindset for each person.
No, that I get too. Like I'll always kind of see where, like when I'll try to jump the furthest I can, and then how you see like the little Mario's back in make mode, see where you fall and see, and I'll see like, well, a better player will probably jump over there, but a worse player is probably going to jump closer over here. I try to put it where more towards again, because this is my Mario game that I'm creating. So I put like my first one was a new beginning. I even say an easier welcome course, where I look and I'm like, all right, well, I know most people aren't gonna jump all the way over there, so I try to make it where it's closer and I mean it to be easier. And so later on, I'll probably make some more harder stuff.
I made my first level. I was planning on sharing this. I took my Wii U gamepad, I set it on a desk, I went to my Art of Flight level. That was one of my favorite creations. I've been tweaking it the last like 2-3 weeks on the Wii U. Like I took my original level, then when the checkpoint flags came out, I changed it, and then it had a 0.9% clear rate, so I stripped away some of the difficulty. Like I made it where like every screen you had to be at the right height, dive down, like dodge all these obstacles, and even got to the point where I was having trouble consistently doing it. So over all that time, those 4 years or whatever, comments, people leaving, just seeing the clear rate, I've kept making changes, re-uploading it. I'd put like version 1.1, 1.2. I got to 1.5, re-uploaded it a couple weeks ago. And so I was counting the fucking squares on the grid, and I was recreating the level on the Switch. And I recreated the base. I put all the enemies in the same spot, put all the land in the same spot. And then I said, all right, now where can the slopes go, without changing the level, without changing the mechanic. I don't want a slope on the ground where somebody can run and regain their speed. So I started adding slopes, and I was like, all right, this is cool. But I played through it first after I just faithfully recreated it. I was like, all right, this feels right. And I was like, all right, go in, put slopes, make it look a little more pleasing to the eye. And then I was about to upload it. It's like, what if I put a spot where you dive bomb, and there's like a 1 out of 10 chance if you pull up at the right spot, and I shared it on Twitter, you can get to this door and you can skip the second part of these 3 parts. So I had to change that, and I worked on it, and then it's not a completely new level, but from the first iteration back in 2015 to the version now is so completely different. And then I put all that time and effort, one of my favorite levels. But if you don't know how to fly with the cape, and congratulations to Robert, he beat the level, and I think you gave up on it pretty early on. Back when I first
Mario
posted
Maker
it.
1.
Yeah. You just have to have a
Well, I was 16 then, yo. I was a lot younger.
You have to have an understanding how the cape works.
Now I'm I can grab a cape.
But
So
after 2 days of that level being out, I'm looking my maker points. I'm at like 90. Robert's at like 500-600.
Yeah, I'm at 600.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just make a quick little 3 or 4 screen level, because I know that's what people play and they'll like it. And ended up doing what Retro did. At 9 o'clock I started. Next thing I know, it's 1 a.m, and I added way more depth to it than I planned. I can't not like add at least one kind of secret room or something. Put a clear condition on it. Uploaded
well, I do
it.
that, but I also feel bad because I feel like no one does the secret room, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's why I understand that, but for me, it's more fun to make it that way.
Yeah.
But in like from 1 a.m. to when I got home today at 6 p.m., I had more plays on that level than I had on my Art of Flight level that had been up since Saturday, like afternoon or early. So I was like, all right, I need to throw in these little quicker ones in between my more challenging and ones that take the more time, bigger concept levels. So I don't want to be. I want to be where people play the level. All right, I like this level, and maybe I'll follow this person type of thing. I don't want every level to be a little bit trickier, or don't want to be too easy though. So it's kind of a nice balance.
Well, that's why, like, for instance, like right now I just checked that both of the first 2 levels I have, have 69 plays. I don't know how that works, but what I've noticed is that it stays at 0 for a long time until someone plays it, and then it looks like it just starts to get plays. That's what it looks like. Like, I know my stepdad played the first one because it had 0 people. I woke up the next day, 0 people. I'm like, damn, how is there no people playing a level? Like, I thought maybe it'd go to the endless challenge. I have no clue how it works. He played it, and literally 5 minutes later there was a bunch of plays. And I'm like, huh.
I think I think there's a delay for the first like update to how many people played that level, because you said your stepdad or whatever beat my level, and it showed 0 people played it, 0 clears for like 5-10 minutes, and then I looked, and then all of a sudden it showed like 3 people played this level. I was like, oh. So I think it just hangs at 0 until a certain amount of time, and then if 15 people played it, it would just instantly be 15.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting though, because like again, now my third level it has only 10 people played, and it's like I wonder why that didn't get. That's not getting as
Well,
many
that one has
plays.
the bomb section.
Yeah.
That took me a few tries.
Okay.
So.
So I don't know. That's why I don't know. I'm not sure how the algorithm for Mario Maker works.
the Mario Maker algorithm.
Yeah.
I think what it is, you just make a shorter level people aren't going to give up on, get people to clear it, and then it starts hitting it just gets in the randomizer and there's
yeah, I guess so.
That's what I like doing anyway. Like it was just by weirdness that my first level became like really fucking hard. But I like making levels that are like of all lengths, of all themes, of all difficulties and shit. Like I'm doing the same thing I did with the first Mario Maker. I'm going through every theme first once. I did like the new Soup, and the 3D world and shit. I made an original one. I do that. And I make sure each level is like a different difficulty level so that somehow it gets picked up a little bit, and then I just start going more towards like my preferences.
Well, that's why, yeah, exactly. For me, like what I'm doing, because I'm trying to make Super Mario Brothers 4, is basically I'm doing it where the first world is 3D world, and the second world will be Super Mario Brothers 1, and the third world, so on, so on. And I just want to keep going like that. So I'll make 4 in a row, which is that. So the next level I'm gonna make is a castle one because it's the end of World 1. We are now at the finale of World 1. We're in the end game now, and then we're gonna go to World 2 and so on, like that.
So we didn't talk about the addition of comments. That's like basically replacing the Miiverse. You can either handwrite or there's a few stamps. When you go to the online part, it says, hey, vote notifications, and I see Coppertone subscriber. Shout outs to him. He played my newest level. Just put the good stuff. The two Toad and Toadette. 11 minutes ago it said, and like I was saying, for that algorithm, this level has a 21.6% clear rate. It takes between 1 to 2 minutes to beat. The world record's 57 seconds, and my maker points went from 90 to 284 just in this level that since last night to now, not even 24 hours. Just so if you're making really hard levels and no one's beating them and liking them, I think that's going to turn people off. So just maybe make them more, I don't want to say easy, but something that a little more joyful. Yeah, that's a better way. So I don't think my level was super easy. It's called on and off to find the coins.
I died 3 times. Well, I was dumb. At one point, you have at the end where you it's one single block, and you jump. I'm talking about off on, which I didn't know there was the thing down below the.
Well, yeah,
I didn't, because I kept for some reason I was jumping where when I would jump it turned on, and so the spikes would come out, and I was injured. I'm like, fuck, let me see if I can get there as quick as possible. And so I'm like in the invincibility frames when I'm like jump on a spikes.
How the hell did you mess that up?
I forget how, but like I
probably when you went.
No, oh, you know why?
Come up the door.
Yeah, what happened was. No, what happened was I think I had the cat suit, and I again I didn't know down below was anything, so I clicked it on. I got the spike hurt, but I climbed back up, but spikes were still on. So every next block I would jump, the spikes would turn on. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh shit, and then I died.
But I like I was gonna say earlier, I can't bring myself to if I do a hard section, it's like ingrained in me now to put conveyor belts in a door. So if you fall, the conveyor belt speeds you to the door, and then you just go through it and reset, and you can try that section again. Like I don't know that I have any since my first or second level, what I would consider a trickier or harder spot where I don't give you the option if you fall just to get back up and try again. Like I don't have it in me just to make
to be fair, your
really
whole Art of Flight is that.
Yeah.
I mean that one's a specific skill. Like if someone's never played Super Mario World and that pops up for them, they're fucked. Like you can't beat it without flying.
Art of Flight just exposing people who can't.
But once you get like, like I said, I've tweaked this level a dozen times probably. The very first iteration was zero forgiveness. Like if you weren't perfect, especially the no checkpoint version, you're fucked. But now, as long as you can stay in the middle of the screen, you're pretty much it's become kind of almost. I feel it's kind of too easy from what I initially had, but I knew I had to make it easier.
Oh, I must say the title of it, Art of Flight, reminds me of this porno back in the day called
The fuck?
Called what?
Joy of Flying.
No. Well, the Art of Flight is it's an extreme sports documentary for I think snowboarding. So that's where I stole the name from.
Those popular Emmanuel series from the. I know. Retro knows what I'm talking about.
I knew you were gonna say that.
But
I feel like there's a joke you could have made there saying, like when someone dies, be like, "Where did you learn to fly?" Like,
Where did you learn?
but that's like I said, it feels like punishing. But the original version was like I don't know if it was 0.9. It might have been 0.09% clear rate. And this has basically a 5% clear rate. So I mean,
You know what they call that? Super expert hot garbage.
Yeah, I think your on-off puzzle maze is gonna have.
I know it will end up.
It's gonna have under 1% if anyone ever clears it.
I'm waiting for that first person, man.
I mean I got at least a half hour into that level, and it's like, I was so frustrated last night. Obviously, you could tell.
Yeah, it was pretty
You put
hilarious.
that much time.
how long is the damn level?
And then,
let's just say it's not very long, but it cost me like at least 2 hours the first time I had it uploaded.
What?
Terrell, I mean, out of the 100+ jumps you have to make, every single one of them is a 100% punishment if you don't do the jump right. So every spot you have to jump, other than to jump on a Koopa shell, every other spot is like life or death every time. So it's like, the checkpoint system's clever. I like that you do the recycle checkpoint system with the 2 flags that you continually hit, and it continually saves in about the same spot. That was a good decision. But it's so punishingly hard that I've gotten 3 different red coins, but never in the same play session. So I've gotten 1 each time I've tried, and it's hard.
The first time I tried uploading it, because I had to because I have to play it because there's 2 checkpoints. It's a cool, easy, recyclable checkpoint system, but to me, that means I have to play the whole fucking level 3 times in a row and without failing, in order to upload it and shit. Like at one point, I was just starting to go mad, laughing to myself. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you
had
to beat it the first time without dying all the way through.
Yeah, exactly, and I had to do that then 3 times in a row.
See, that's why we need Miiverse, because it would have blocked that shit.
Yeah, you're right, because you had to get all the coins every single time.
Yeah, exactly.
That was your design choice.
Man.
Like I said in the chat, like I vowed to just constructive criticism. It's going to be in a positive. I'm not going to let myself get that frustrated again.
Next level.
And I fully I'll ask the same you guys. I mean, I will take. I'm actually thinking of putting beta version in the title, and just asking in the description, say please provide comments on areas or things you think where this level could be improved, or things that are, because when like Retro, you played your level, you never once hit the on-off switch to kill the 2 Koopas, and basically it's a trap. You either run the clock out or you start the level over.
Yeah, that was the one actual mistake. Because like I said, when I built the level, I made sure to see if they would respawn. And I think I did some like mixing and matching of shit later on, and the area got smaller, didn't respawn. So when you said that, then I was like, wait, that is an actual mistake. So then I deleted it, added a pipe that would always create new Koopas and shit. But yeah, then I had to like re-upload the whole fucking thing again. It only took me half an hour the second time.
And I think Collected said it best. You get kind of caught when you're making your level. You're so used to every spot. You've played these sections hundreds of times while you're perfecting the timing of certain stuff. And then when you actually go to upload it, and this happened in my first Art of Flight back in the day, you play through it from beginning to end, and the timing for things is off. Like I got the fire bars like spinning around, and when I was making the level, I just, all right, I'll start from this spot, fly. But when I started from the beginning, all those fire bars were in different spots, and I could not get past the level, and I had to make sure to put them in a different spot and change the orientation. So when you actually got there, like I assumed everyone on the first Art of Flight, the first section, you would stop in the middle. But then I was like, what happens if you don't land and you just keep flying? And the timing was completely wrong. So I was like, oh, fuck. So, that's the kind of stuff you figure out after, when you play it from the actual beginning, playing through it versus just hitting the minus button and playing that little section where the timings, as soon as you hit that start, that's where the timings begins. And it's not from, like, I place these Goombas on a level, and when you're in that area, they're in the spot. But when you're half a screen away, they start moving on, because you get close enough, they start moving. Then I actually get to them, and they're completely off where I want them to be. So,
because what changes, I feel, is like when you make a level, you have a section, you're like, wait, this is wrong. So you pick the Mario up, you put him a bit away, you make sure the jump is correct, you do it over and over again, and then you move on. And then sometimes you play a longer section and shit. But when you play the level to upload it, your mindset changes from creating it to actually playing it, and then you start just looking at it differently.
All right, so I think this is all we could say at this point. Next week we'll probably have more stories, and we'll have some levels. I'm 99% decided to buy a capture card so I can stream playing through either your guys' levels or just subscriber levels on live. I can't play PC games. I can't run PC games and stream at the same time. That's why I haven't even bothered trying to do any kind of gaming streams in a while. So if I just get a capture card that does all the encoding, I'll be playing the Switch mostly, if not exclusively. I think that would make my live streams way more appealing, especially playing Nintendo games. So I had an idea that everybody would play each other's levels. I think that's gonna be cool. So unless something happens, unless my fridge takes a crap or my stove or something, and I gotta buy something, I'm definitely planning.
Welcome to my world.
Start researching and finding the best one for the best price. And
ABP didn't buy that 8K TV. You had some money.
4K.
El
God
Gato,
damn!
baby, like El Gato.
Bust his ass.
Bust him open.
The worst part about buying that new TV is my projector in my theater room is forgotten. It's like an abandoned. It's like you meet a new girl or something, and that old girl isn't as you're not as interested as you were before, type of thing. So, but anyway, let's get out of here. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.